Well, hi there, and welcome to Winning Ways, racing fans out there. And we've got Kevin with me today. Nice having you, Kev. Laps cruising.
Cruising. He wants to go and see Spurs lift up a trophy. So that's
they're not going to lift no trophy.
Well, he's got to go and have a look and go and try.
Do you think they're going to lift the trophy?
Well, if they got their A team, they'll have to play all of them. Yeah. They'll have to play Kane. They'll have to play Son.
But they haven't got Kane. Kane's injured, isn't he?
I think they said he could be back for the final, but
he'll be rusty.
Just for the records, Brett Crawford went when Liverpool played many years ago, and they were 3-0 down, and all his mates left him, and they all left the stadium. And he said, "Well, I'm travelled out to come watch the game. I better stay and watch." And they got up to win 4-3 on penalties. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
No, I think they got up to 3-3, was it? And then there was penalties.
Yeah, and then they went on the penalties.
So I mean, it must be hell of a 3-0 down to see 6 goals in the Champions League must be world class.
But this is Madrid, I think, that they're playing, aren't they?
In Madrid?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing
I think
in Madrid.
That the final's being played
so
in
Laf
Madrid.
Will be doing a bit of traveling.
Sitting there having tequilas and having a cruise. Anyway, we got to work. What the hell?
What can we do? Nothing wrong.
Just talking about, I think that the Grand Prix was quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Monaco is always lovely. I think it's 1.5 square miles, so everything's very dense and compact there. But it's always a good Grand Prix. Not the best for spectator sport, really, because not much overtaking. One retirement, 1 or 2 accidents, but 1 official retirement.
Yeah, Leclerc, he got done a few times.
A couple of guys got done and stopped the race. Unfortunately, they have to stop the race there. So if you get your 2 or 3 seconds lead, which is gold in Monaco, stop the race, everybody gets back, and you have to start again with Matt behind our boy Lewis Hamilton. He's really he's shown him a clean pair of wheels. They got that car.
Yeah, but as you say, not easy to watch the race. But DK and the team were over there.
Yeah, DK and his wife.
Dean Canema, for those of you who don't know. Yeah,
with Lady
Laidlaw. I mean, Peter must be. She must be thinking, what's this boy of mine doing?
I hope he didn't buy a round. Because Monaco, they charge you like wounded buffaloes.
Take out a bond.
Yeah.
Rugby.
The
Sharks.
Sevens. Sharks, very good. I was quite impressed.
Cohen Bosch, fly halves made all the difference.
I think he's brilliant, and also what's very good about him, if they do put Robert Dupree on, they just put him straight back to full back, and I think he's a good full back because he gets protected by the back line.
No, but Dupree's got to play full back. You can't have Cohen Bosch is a much better fly half.
And his kicks are very impressive. He don't miss too many.
Yeah, no, he missed the first one.
Yeah, I know, but not too many. I said.
How did he miss the first one? I cannot believe it. Anyway, what about the rest of them? The Bulls got taken out. And,
they're a little bit below par.
Jaguar is looking good.
Yeah, they're playing very nicely. They're coming to the fore now. They're playing proper rugby now, but it's taken them a bit of time to learn. And James, it's very physical now. You can see in those Jaguaris, they go in there for the kill. Yeah, that's what I like about them.
What I like about them is the discipline so much better.
Discipline, unbelievable. Yeah. And when you see some of these penalties that these guys give away, you don't on your knees put your hand in the ruck, and these guys do it. The coaches must be pulling their hair out sometimes. Some of the things are just so blatant. Why did they do it?
You want to pull your hair out? How about the Sevens when New Zealand beat us in the last 10 seconds? Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I watched that and I saw the log. I see Fiji are leading by 2 points from USA. USA have they've really come to the party. And then there's just a huge gap to 3rd, 4th, and I think we are 5th on the log at the moment now.
And we need to get to 4th.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think we need 11 points or something. It's quite a big...
no, we've got no chance.
I don't think so. They said South Africa's 5th, and it looks like they could stay 5th. I don't think there's enough games.
Yeah, there's only
one more tournament.
I think there's one more tournament next week.
I think in France. Yeah. And talking about sport as well, what was I talking about? The cricket starts this week. Goody, I watched on Carte Blanche last night. They had the last 20 years, how unlucky we've been. I mean, we could have picked up the trophies, no doubt about it. When Donald dropped his bat. I mean, that was a joke.
Please don't remind us of all. Let's go forward.
25 runs off 1 ball. Polly forgot to do the Duckworth Lewis. No. But I really think the side we've got now, I think, we're going to see the first
if Rabada's at his best, and he's come back off an injury, and Staines come back off an injury, if the two of them are at their best, we've got a chance.
Yeah, because I think...
But we've only got a chance. There's some good teams out there.
Some good teams,
I like New Zealand.
New Zealand are, I think, second favourites.
I think
to
they're
England.
a really good side.
I'm going to go with South Africa with my heart. I know it's hard, because they always let us down. But
nice price, 9-1.
They're big price.
Yeah.
And they're playing the favourites the first game. If they win the first game, there's going to be no more 9-1.
I can tell you, I think we'll win the first game. We'll be like the 95 World Cup when we beat Australia the first game at Newlands. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. So
everyone said we had no chance, and we ended up beating Australia in the first game and ended up winning.
So we'll see. Thursday is the big day, and then Friday is the Oaks, Epsom.
Yeah.
Saturday is the Derby.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Sunday there's golf. I mean, there's the sport this weekend. Unfortunately, we got no football. Well, I say football. Champions League
We've
Saturday
got the
night.
Champions League final.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no English Premier League, so we packed up with sport this week. So prepare yourselves, guys. So Thursday, get yourselves ready. Sunday night, you can get off the couch.
Well, as Shay said, have a bet on South Africa. Be patriotic. Let's see if we can't win the cricket. But let's go on to see and show you what we've got in our 3 to follow. Right, all the 3 to follow came from the Vaal, and there's some quite nice horses. Let's go and find the first one, and this is a Frankel filly that Mike de Kock stepped out. The word from Matthew was that this was as fast as any baby they've got. Well, unfortunately, she was done at the start. Let's pick her up at the start. She's drawn 2, and you'll see that's what actually cost her the race, but she ran a very good race.
Yeah, James, Bar Frankel, the champion. There's the bump. Bump. First time, it gets a little bit of a knock.
It took a bit of time to get into her stride. The winner's here in the red and white colours. We made her a 1 to follow 2 weeks ago, and you had to have a bet on this Michael Aziz filly. Won convincingly. But the Frankel filly, Simon's just standing up on her, yellow cap, Mark Young's colours from those Team N stable colours. And she's beautifully bred. This filly will go on.
Yeah, she is definitely Claverflay bred. You can see her there. She comes off a bit early there now. James, the Mark Azzy horses, they know how to go. They get going. She must be 3, 4, 4.5 lengths behind them. Just under the hands. Penny drops now. Clear run. I must say, Randall kept her in the clear. Penny drops here. 1 smack, 2 smacks on the right. Now it gets going. Last little bit. I think definitely a very good one to follow. But, James, we know the Mark de Kock horses, they aren't 5 furlong horses in general.
Yeah.
He doesn't train them to become 5 furlong horses.
Especially by Frankel.
By Frankel, he's looking for the 14, he's looking for the group races. And
Yeah.
well bred. And once this goes around the turn, I honestly think, James, be hard to beat.
Yeah, okay. Well,
with the experience as well.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Now, this one's a bit of a find. We went to the first race of the Vaal on Thursday. And we picked up a filly that Stuart Pettigrew trained called Marry in Haste. Beautifully bred out of a mare called Shotgun Wedding by Caesar. That's proper Fastfontein breeding by Judd Pot. Let's go and pick her up. I thought this was a cracking good run. Let's have a look.
Yeah, in the Ian van Skalkwyk colours. Drawn 4. Gets a little bit of a knock there, James. We watched earlier on now, James. She goes to the... she goes to the inside.
Head one side.
Head one side. So horse's head, when an horse's galloping like that,
it takes a lot of energy.
It's leading on the off four now. Yeah. You have to either do it yourself as a jockey to get it to change legs, or it's you'll see now when she does change legs. So head to the one side. Looks like she was hanging quite a bit, but she was 2 or 3 lengths off them now, and you'll see, James, she drops right out of it, loses her ground completely.
Yeah, and then switches towards the middle of the track.
In behind the whole lot of horses.
She's got plenty of room on the outside. So she switches towards the middle of the track. And then you'll see she starts now going quite well. So he then switches her back towards the inside of the track. And
she's still on that leg, James. I'm going to show you where she changes her legs now. You'll see it. There. She changes her legs. Now you'll see a difference. I mean, look how far how much ground she loses just from the side on view. She's lost another 2 lengths off the bit.
Yeah.
As you say, definitely looking. I mean, I would say just about nearly falls out to last in this race.
This filly will go a bit of ground. She's bred to go a bit of ground.
Back right on the inside. So yeah. She's done more mileage. 2 on the left. You can see now she's leading on the other leg. Changes the stick and just runs out a little bit of a puff, I think. Yeah, well, runs out a bit of puff
just
there.
needed it.
Just falls out of it, runs 5th or 6th. Just needed it, and I think with the experience, and surely the jock will come back and say, listen, Anessa does it at track. Stuart, this filly's hanging a bit, let's check the mouth, or just see there's not a problem there. But if she jumps out straight, keeps its head straight, over a bit of a trip next time, I think hard to beat.
She'll win, yeah. All right, let's go and have a look at the next one, Patala, in race 4. Michael Azzi trained Patala Palace. He's been very big on them. They are really nice horses. And this was a nice horse owned by Tinus Kerika and Michael Azzi's team. Let's go and pick him up at the start. He gets a total bump.
Yeah, comes out the gate. This is the worst for Urslaka. He causes the trouble, I think, more or less, but comes out. But one thing about the Mark Azzi horses, James, always they come out and they get themselves into the race. You never see Mark's horses fall out, unless they're looking for a trip or something. But he trains his horses, him and Adam. They get them out there, they get them to race. And I mean, when you see them in the ring, they look like they wouldn't even look out of space in the Jalal. They always look magnificent, but plenty pace on the inside there. Lance Werner's also on the outside is clear, and you have to chase. I'm also impressed. No bias. They're galloping on the inside and the outside and in the middle. So Mark de Kock's also shape hand on the inside. Still there, Mark Azzi's horse. And this is another one I think just runs out a little bit of puff at the end now. Nice action, moving well. A couple of the others are running on nicely, but here's the winner. The winner's right down the inside. Oh,
how close was that?
That was very close, but I think with the experience, the Azzi's horses, they always come on their 2-3 lengths after that run.
No doubt. Like the one we saw in the first race.
Yeah, speedy. It'll come out next time. It'll be in front and say, come and catch me if you can.
Yeah. Okay, that's it from the 3 to follow. We're going to go and have a look at an old friend of ours who most of you would not know, because if you weren't in the weighing room or weren't in the inner sanctums of racing, you wouldn't know Rob Moffat. But nice of him to come on the show. Let's go and see what he's got to say.
Thank you for inviting me on your show. My name's Robert Moffat. I joined the horse racing industry in 1996. I was a clerk of scales and judge. I operated with a dual license for the National Horse Racing Authority. When I retired recently, I asked Kevin Shea if he would be an ambassador to a craft beer, which we are proud to say is going very, very well. And it's enjoyed by the patrons at the Browns Drift Tote, and we will be offering the Shazy craft beer, a Pilsner, at the Gold Cup this year. I'm also pleased to tell you that I've been employed as the representative for the brewing company that we use, the Belito Brewing Company. Once again, Paul and Kevin, thank you very, very much for this opportunity.
You've been involved in horse racing in South Africa but have either moved away, immigrated or retired. We want to hear from you. Send us a short 30-second video recording on WhatsApp and we'll flight it on the show. Clips can be sent to either James on 071 588 5769 or Paul on 083 779 1311. We look forward to hearing from you.
Right, well, there we are, Rob Moffat. And as you saw, Shazy craft beer. My goodness gracious, you become a brand ambassador for something that you really love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lovely beer. There's only 3 ingredients in a craft beer, as you know, no chemicals.
Yeah.
It's nice, 5%.
Now, you told me that you're making a gin as well.
Yeah, we make a Shazy, we call it T&G because everybody's G&T, so it's T&G.
Yeah.
It's 440 mils, 6% alcohol.
Where can you buy this stuff?
They are in quite a few tops.
Okay.
We're in the tops, and we're in Peter Liquors at the top of Glen Ashley. We're looking to get into Liberty Liquors as well. They go. Rob's doing his homework, and it's the gin is a big hit.
Sure.
Everywhere around now. A lot of the gentlemen even starting to drink it.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Now you know. Sharzy Craft Beer, T&G, Gold Cup, you're going to be able to get hold of it. Let's go and see what the plum of the week is.
Right in touch with the leading group, racing in behind that. Duchess of Bourbon towards the inside. Cruise Along is deeper out in the track as they race down towards the final 300. It's Helen's Ideal who's come back to regain the lead. Starfighter trying to stay with her up on the outside. Shamrock Wind is starting to run on late towards the inside. Starfighter up on the outside. Helen's Ideal, they lock together. It's going to be close. Helen's Ideal finding extra. Helen's Ideal. Starfighter behind that.
Paul Reeves trains it. We picked this filly up a couple of runs ago and said, you follow this filly. She is very good. But Paul Reeves done a great job. She won 4 out of 5. She got beaten in the Derby by the Colts. And she'll win the Triple Tiara. Let's hope for them. A great guys. Peter de Beer breeds her. She's by the Ideal World out of Fort Wood mare. She'll go every yard of the distance she's got to go. And she is gutsy. And I thought Donovan Dillon gave her a very good ride too. And Interbet, you could have got 2-1 about this filly at any time.
Interbet give you very good prices, I must be honest. They're
2.5 kilos well in this race with the second horse.
I've got to say as well, this young Paul Reeves, a good friend of mine as well. He's a very, very good horseman, and it's a family affair. His wife, his daughters, they're all involved. And he goes to the sales and he buys cheapies. Yeah. 20, 30 grand, and you get something like this one, 4 out of 5. His attention to detail is world class. So well done to Paul and his family. Yeah,
the Barrett and the Bayer partnership. Yeah. Just interesting on Interbet. I was reading some stuff on African Betting Clan where these guys take out betting and go to the bookmakers and have a betting account, take exotics like pick sixes and PAs and jackpots, and they end up getting cut. Their limits get cut, and the amount of money they're allowed to spend on these jackpots and picks get cut. I can't understand why you don't use Interbet, which is a tote. And you get the tote payout. You know, there's no deductions. You get exactly what the tote pays. And you get no, no commissions taken off it. It's a no-brainer.
That's for exotics, and the tote might be paying R1.70 on, not knocking a tote, and Interbet you're getting a little bit, maybe a little bit of 5 to 2.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win situation.
You can bet with the bookmakers at the best bookmaker price, and you can bet on the tote, and you can bet on all the tote and lotto and anything they want to do. Anyway, we're out of time as far as this segment's concerned. We'll be back with current affairs.
Hi, my name is Gregory Blank. I'm an ex-stockbroker and involved in private equity and stock markets. But my passion for the last 40 years has been horse racing. I initially started off as an owner. We then got into breeding and then into trading. And obviously by default became a punter. The most exciting part, apart from leading as a winner, is having a winning bet at the same time. Obviously that's not always easy, but with the help of Interbet and their transparent information, it makes trading and betting a lot easier. I've had over 38 Group 1 winners and continue to try to strive for that thrill of having a winner. The thrill of owning a horse and winning a race is indescribable. But if they're serious about it and serious about punting, is to get a leg in and really follow Interbet to the max. It's the only way they can be ahead of the game.
Right, well, let's go and have a look at what we've got in current affairs. And we're going to start off with the Winter Classic, which is a Grade 3. And this showed the two best horses that were left behind in Cape Town, dueling it out. Turned out to be a great day for the Marcus team and everyone concerned with them, Bernard Cantor, all the partners. Let's go and have a look at Vardy winning the Winter Classic.
Mark. Clouded Hills Racing Whack, one from last. Majestic Mozart is still the trailer. Midway round the turn, they have 600 metres left to go. One World. On the outside, Herodotus decides to apply a bit of early pressure. Just in behind them, Vardy is poised to have a crack at them. Up on the outside, Clouded Hill. They homeward bound now off that false rail. 400 metres left to go. One World comes back to regain the lead. Now Vardy throws down the challenge in the centre, and it's Vardy who's gone on by. One World going to have to pick up. He's not staying with Vardy, who's drawing away from him as they come to the final 250. And Vardy's in a race of his own here. One World not responding to the pressure, and Vardy, horse number 2, strides away to win the Winter Classic. Vardy, too good, goes away from One World, who's a bit flat back in second. Majestic Mozart behind that third. Herodotus was in behind those, and Clouded Hill.
Well, there you go. Vardy is by far out of a Jetmaster mare, and is bred by the Tawny Syndicate. I mean, those guys, Greg Blank and Jimmy Sarkis, Daryl Utah, Bernard Cantor own him. And the Marcus team, you know, great win for them.
Absolutely. Lovely owners, and lovely guy, Adam and Basil. I was, before the end of my career, I wrote a bit for Adam. He's absolute gentleman of the game. He's learned from...
he learned from his dad,
This horse was tainted early on to be a good horse. And Adam always left a little bit in the tank for the improvement. And he's come slowly but surely. Didn't he run in the Derby? What did he run in on Met Day or something?
No, he ran behind One World. And then he beat Russet Hare in the 3-year-old. And then he ran second to One World again in the Winter Guineas.
The Winter Guineas, that was the time they thought this is the time. And it was... And Adam, I think, left a little bit in the tank for him. And today, did you see how quickly he went past that horse, One World? And I know One World is a fighter. Thought Craig Zaki gave him a good ride because being One World next to him, you saw him last time with Anton Marcus. If you're next to him
you'll find
in a sword fight.
But does One World get further than a mile? And this horse definitely looks like he's better at further than a mile.
I think so. I think he's a better stayer. That's I think why Adam left that little bit in the tank for him. But he went past One World, and it was a race over. And the third horse, surely the handicapper can't give the horse a third horse a punishment. They beat him 10 lengths.
Because at the weights, it's quite interesting because Vardy ran probably 2 kilos above his rating. So I would think One World would come down 2 kilos. He's 117. I would think that he'd probably come to a 114.
And Vardy?
And Vardy will stay where he is. I'd use Vardy as a line horse.
What is he?
And Majestic Mozart's was 102.
What is Vardy?
Vardy's 109. And Majestic Mozart's 102 and got beaten at levels by Vardy by about 5 lengths.
More than
that, I think,
4
or 5 lengths. At the end of the day, Majestic Mozart probably could have come, but Vardy's got to be your line horse. I would
think so. James, while we're on that subject, you know, chatting to Mike de Kock, and a lot of guys, interesting to see why these small little fields, the guys are scared to take a Huam in the Daily News 2000 example, 8 noms. There was, I think, 7 noms. These guys are scared to take on these horses with big ratings because if your horse does, by some chance, run out of his shoes, maybe 2 or 3 lengths better than you think he is, you get the penalty. And then...
I don't know that, you know...
This is what the guys are talking about.
That's what they think. But actually, at the end of the day, if your horse runs to a rating, okay, pretty soon you'll know whether it ran to that rating or not. And, you know, I'll give you an example. I took a filly up to run against Mike de Kock's champion, okay?
Awang?
No, in Joburg. She won the classic, your filly.
Taking the piece?
No, man, long before that. I took Las Ramblas up to run against. And ran second, okay? Got beaten 2 lengths, got my penalty. It didn't make any difference because the filly was good enough to carry that penalty because on a line through her and the third horse, she was actually perfectly weighted in the race to run second. She couldn't run any better than second. Wasn't going to beat the favourite.
Yeah.
Took my penalty. got 200,000 rand for running second. Okay, take the penalty. You can manoeuvre from there.
Yeah, you have to.
There's no point in being scared. You only get one chance at grade 1s. Have a go. Or grade 2s or grade 3s. If you've got a horse that's got a chance, run it.
I agree with you. But
you know what the problem is? The stables are too big nowadays. There's so many stables that they don't care. They've got one horse, so they run the one horse in the race. And all the others that could be running in that race are standing in their boxes.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. Anyway, shall we move on from the Winter Classic? We're going to be looking at the Big Four in Durban in your call. So let's see what Magic Millions got to offer. I think that they had a couple of winners. We've got an advert from them, and then we'll talk about the weaning sale.
Mystic Journey going well. Mystic Journey by over 2. Mystic Journey does it easily.
Fedora in front. Unlucky last year. She's the hero tonight, Fedora.
Boom Sarah, Bondi out back. Barbie, they hit the line. Boom Sarah.
Right, let's have a look at Roy's Riviera. That won a stakes race. Infamous Fox won a stakes race. And Street Flyer is a real good hard knocker. These horses were bought at the Magic Million sales. Royal Riviera, 70 grand. Infamous Fox, 25 grand. I remember, I think Grant Knowles bought Infamous Fox for the Ralph's team. He turned out to be a damn nice horse. And then the Street Flyer, he's run about 7 now for Matchett. You know,
yeah, he's done very well.
Anyway, so that's the story. Now, they're right in the middle of the Magic Millions carnival, as it is. The weanlings were sold last week, and I'm going to give you a few prices of the weanlings. Yulong, do you know who Yulong is, Kev?
No,
they're the big Chinese bunch, and I tell you, they're
he's
big
a big
players.
boy.
Yeah, they spent the most money, 1.7 billion, and they averaged
Aussie dollars, eh?
10 weanlings, 174,000. Average.
Do you think those will they stay in Australia? Or
yeah, they're going to race in Australia.
Who trains for them there? Is it spread them around a bit?
Yeah, they've got Yulong's very big. I mean, he's becoming one of the biggest players in the world. James Bester, our mate, South African. James, he bought 4 for 600,000, 150 average. But just as far as the figures are concerned, 28 million spent on weanlings, dollars, 280 million rand. $63,000 was the average. Top price was $480,000 for a weanling. 4.8 million for a weanling in Australia, bought by Blandford Bloodstock. They're an English branch, okay? They come out here. Reduced choice weanling for 480,000. Quite interesting.
Must be a good-looking weanling.
I looked at the picture of it.
Spending that kind of money as a weanling.
At a top pedigree too. I'm Invincible. He's still right up there near the top $300,000 average. American Pharaoh, you could have bought American Pharaohs for $134,000 was the average of the American Pharaohs. That's 1.3 million rand. Hey, you can go to the sales here and get blown out the water for a Captain Al, but he's the best horse here.
100%.
Or Silvano or whatever. You can't even get close to them for 1.3 million. 3 first season sires. I always go for the first season sires there. I love the first crop sires. Capitalist, 127,000. Divine Prophet, 96,000. And Frosted, 112,000. Frosted. He's
American sterling.
Shuttles from America.
Yeah.
So a pretty good sale all in all. Everything looking rosy in Australia. That's the weanings. This week is broodmares. And the following week is the yearlings, and I'm trying to get over to there for the yearlings. But we're trying to get an order book. That's the big problem.
Yeah, have you had a look at the catalogue?
Yes, very beautiful catalogue. Yeah. There's some horses by stamina-orientated pedigrees and sires that you can buy for $40,000 or $50,000 and bring them back here. You get them here at under R1 million. Now, you can't buy Silvanas at under R1 million in this country. And those type of horses, you buying by international pedigrees and getting them here at under the price that you'd be able to buy them there for. That's why it's a win. Anyway, what else have we got? Kev, Singapore.
Big race. This is interesting to to get the result of this race, because the Singaporeans love to take their own money.
What's it called? The Kranji Mile.
Yeah, it's Kranji Mile. It's a big one. It's, I think, $1.6 million.
Yeah, yeah.
Singapore dollars, that's 10 to 1.
Yeah.
That's serious money.
Yeah, 16 million rand.
More or less, yeah. And Hong Kong came to the party. The jocks, let's talk about the jocks.
Yeah.
Aldo Romeo went over. I think his first ride in Singapore ever.
Yeah.
He ran second.
He rode a horse called Blizzard.
Blizzard, he's a Singaporean horse.
Singaporean horse,
yeah. He's a champion. He's a good horse.
For Friedman.
Yeah, very good horse.
And Carice and Tony Millard went over with Singapore Sling.
100%. That ran third.
Yeah.
And the winner came from Zach Purton.
Yeah. Zach Purton and Casper Fines. It was interesting reading what Zach Purton and Casper Fines said. Purton said he was thrilled to see Singapore Sling go to the front because he knows that he never wins from there. But Singapore Sling was drawn 10, so they had to go there. Beverly Millard said, we had to use him, get into a good place, otherwise we would race 5 wide and we would run nowhere. Okay?
100%.
He knew there was no pace. They went there and they took their chances. And I thought he ran a cracking good race. The tactics didn't suit him. And Purton said, all I did was I sat and waited to pounce.
100%. A great rider, Zach. He's absolutely flying in Hong Kong. Leading jockey in Hong Kong by far.
What happened on Sunday?
Sunday, Zach Purton, 6. Joe Moreira, 4. 10 winners, the two of them, out of 11. And one poor fish caught the half-dead sardine that was floating at the top with a net. Because they just
They took all the big fish.
They're domineering. I mean, Zach is really, he's got to Hong Kong. He's got it like Dougie White had it.
Yeah.
Because when I went my first year in Hong Kong, Zach came as well. And he was a head case. In Australia, the guys were getting mad. He's a head case, but Hong Kong sorts you out very quickly.
Yeah.
And he's taken his time, and he had his 20 winners and then 30 winners. And Dougie White and the boys were really dominating big time there. And he's slowly got his foot in the door. He's a 54 jockey, weight-wise, rides 54, get it down for the good ones. But, and now, I mean, you see him. If Zach Purton doesn't ride a winner, the punters, they aren't going home. No. But they must have all gone home with money on Sunday, which is lovely. It's a tote. When everybody wins money, you know what's going to happen. Wednesday, Happy Valley, they're going to be back there in
their droves.
In their droves, and their aunties and uncles as well. They'll be back there to punt again. And you know, just talking to Mark de Kock yesterday, I mean, Hong Kong turnover in 1 week, what we turn over in South Africa in a year.
Yeah.
That's all 3 centres, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Yeah. Is that not inspiring?
Only game in town there. Yeah, unfortunately, there are all types of other games.
And it's tote as well.
Yeah.
So, which is lovely. The money gets put into the system and gets taken out of the system by the right people.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to, obviously, the Curragh had the big race meeting, and they had the 1,000 and 2,000 guineas, the Irish 1,000 and 2,000 guineas. They opened the stand at the Curragh, the new grandstand, and Aga Khan was there to help open the stand. He gave them a huge donation in 2003 to help build the stand. So, you know, it's fantastic that the Aga Khan, who's not based in Ireland, but he's got a lot of racing and racing interest there, gave them a lot of money, millions of dollars, to help rebuild the Curragh, and he was there to open the stand.
Absolutely, it's a lovely racecourse, James, and the man, he's very big in France as well. I love to see them winning races. You know, it's guys who put the money in. I love to see them win. I'm that kind of person, and it's just great to see. And Aidan O'Brien, as you know, you can carry on now. He'll tell you how he dominates down there. He doesn't have one run in a race. He can have 5. And I'm reading a Sporting Post this morning. He's just supplemented a horse for the Derby. Don't know the horses. I can't remember his name offhand. I just was quickly reading it. Oh. And he's supplemented another horse for the Derby. So he's very powerful in the Derby. Yeah. Which is virtually Saturday. It's this week. Lovely race to watch.
He was very powerful in the 2,000 guineas, ran nowhere. The 2,000 guineas was won by a horse called Phoenix of Spain, trained by Charlie Hills, ridden by Jamie Spencer, and it beat Too Darn Hot, which was a favourite, the hot favourite, owned by the Lloyd Webbers, trained by John Gosden.
Gosden and Frankie Dettori. A lot of talk about it, but that'll be coming. I think that is favourite now for the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket.
No, the 2,000 guineas was over at Newmarket. That was won by Magna Garcia, which was
sorry.
That ran nowhere in this race.
No,
This is the 2,000
I'm thinking of Royal
yeah.
Ascot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a favourite for a race at Royal Ascot. That's right. They really put the betting up.
Well, Phoenix of Spain is by Loop de Vega. They won 2,000 guineas. Now the 1,000 guineas and the Gold Cup and the Prix Saint-Array in France all have a very interesting thread running through them.
Yeah, tell them this. This is very interesting. This.
Yeah. So the Aga Khan owns the winner of the Prix d'Array in France, which was Sierra Fina, trained by Roy Dupré, Alain Roy Dupré, and Christophe Sommillon rode it. And that is...
Aga Khan.
Yeah, Aga Khan. That's by Pivotal. Okay?
Right.
The winner of the 1,000 guineas was Homera, who's trained by Aidan O'Brien, and Ryan rode it. Galileo, out of a sister to Hydrangea. Okay, Hydrangea's the United States, dam of the United States, so it's a full sister to the United States, won the 1,000 guineas.
By Pivotal.
The dam, Beauty is Truth, is by Pivotal.
Unbelievable.
Okay, and then the Gold Cup was won by a horse called Magical for O'Brien as well, won by 7. Okay, Galileo, out of Halfway to Heaven, by Pivotal. Okay, I mean it's not
wasn't he a sprinter?
Pivotal. Yeah, it was sprinter miler basically. Yeah,
but he was 6 furlongs and he top stallion.
Very.
We went. Mark de Kock took me to the stud farm in Newmarket.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. You drive in there, it looks like it's a bowling green. Yeah. It's just everything is just. Beautiful. And they bring him out Pivotal, and he just stands and he has a look.
And then give him some mints.
Yeah, he's I can't remember the stud manager. He's a real English guy.
Yeah. He's probably wearing a tie.
Guaranteed tie jacket.
Yeah.
And but he's a robust animal. He's a chestnut, and you could just look at him. He's just muscled up.
Well, halfway the dam, Halfway to Heaven by Pivotal, is out of Cassandra Go. Now, Cassandra Go, you'll remember, Mace Roberts won all her races on her. Yeah. So this is an unbelievable pedigree that the Coolmore bunch have got, and that's the way we're going to finish with this lot. We'll then go back and talk about South African racing because we had some fun over the weekend. So. Look forward to seeing you back after this break, and we'll talk about the big Need for Speed race day, which was a triumph for so many people. Right, well, we dedicate your call to a fabulous race day at Scottsville. And before we even get into it, I want to say how fantastic your presentation was. And you know what, I don't blow smoke up your backsides, you oaks, because I've done it all before and seen it all before. But that, where you sat up there in the grandstand was a triumph. It was just a really good posse. And it came through very, very well.
Yeah, thanks, James. It wasn't easy to tip the winners as we saw the results.
No, well, you guys have never been able to tip
anything.
Ivy. Okay?
Yeah, we couldn't tip a bucket of water over.
Yeah.
But where Sherwin, our producer, and the guys all put that little...
You're not there for your tipping price. You're there for your good looks, you and Warren. It's not because you guys can tip it. Warren's got a list of horses that he tips on the Gold Circle thing to all the members. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, 1 in 10, he's lucky.
Don't tell him that.
They're all favourites.
Yeah, don't tell him that. Yeah. But we're having a competition for the Group 1s for the champion season. Yeah. And I don't want to say this, but I have to say this on TV. He's 1-0 up. He found the one of Terry's. He's 1-0 up.
Well, he listened to my podcast.
That's
why.
I don't know where he's getting his info
He listened
from.
to the podcast.
And he didn't just tip it, he backed it as well. That's what even killed me even more. So you know what it's like? I've got to find 2 to get past him.
Okay,
So,
well, you will.
Yeah,
No problem.
I'm going to work on it.
I'll help you next week. Okay?
Yeah, I need a little bit of help. But Hawam, we're not allowed to tip because we both got it. So,
Okay.
so the daily news, we're not allowed to tip that. So we're going to have to tip who's going to run second.
Okay, that's easy too.
So, yeah, not that we think, I'm a racing certainty, but we really think the horse is a very good horse and he's on the right road. And I'm sure the bookmakers have priced him up 4-10 and they would like to see him win impressive. And he is just about July favourite now. And Michael, do the next step and have a go at the July, which would be lovely because we want to see the champions all line up together.
Okay, well, let's kick off with the first leg of the 4-legged jackpot Group 1s. And we kick off with Alan Robertson, and Basadi Faith was the favourite here. She bled, okay, so she's that was the excuse for her. There was a lot of scrimmaging, a lot of bumping, and it wasn't actually a good race. But the winner is a good winner. She won fair and square. The second filly might have been unlucky. Let's go and pick them up at the start.
They sprinting from the 1200 metre marker. Not a bad beginning, this one. Yes, sir, I Can Boogie is one of the first out of the gates. Kaviva is right there. Sing for Rafi in the blue is very quick towards the inside. Basadi Faith amongst the leading group. Miss Florida's the pink cap on the inside. Then comes Miss Honey. They're followed further back by Rolling the Hay, the yellow colours of Travelling Light. Then comes Rio's Winter. Near Shima's a couple of lengths off them. Vander Spirit is further back in the run as they come down with about 600 metres to go. Sing for Rafa and Yes Sir I Can Boogie. Kaviva between runners. Basadi Faith's about 2 or 3 lengths off the leader. Me Time's also trying to get into the race. Rio's Winter towards the outside. Sing for Rafa still leads it. Yes Sir I Can Boogie. Kaviva's running on. Basadi Faith's in trouble as they come down to the 200 metre marker. Song for Rafa is still the leader. Sing for Rafa down the inside. Miss Florida and Kaviva's getting into the race late. And the leader is still Sing for Rafa, but Miss Florida and Kaviva came flashing over the line as one. And Sing for Rafa, 3-way.
Well, Benji Johnson would be proud of his son, Nick. Okay?
I've got a story to tell you. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
I went to the winner's box afterwards and Nick Johnson said to me, there was 2 races, Kevin, my dad wanted to win. He says, was the July and the Alan Robinson. And unfortunately, we lost Mr. Johnson. And in the interim, Nick has won the July and the Alan Robinson.
Yeah.
And it was quite emotional for Nick because he trained the mother.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
she said, no legs.
Yeah.
And Chris Snaith went to him and said, listen, don't sell this filly. Keep this filly. She should have won a Group 1 for us, but we just couldn't keep her sound. She was a 6-time winner. And they threw her, and he bred with her. Who did they throw it to? I can't remember the name.
No, they sent it to Captain Al.
Captain Al, yeah. Captain Al.
Yeah,
dominating.
this is the first fall by Captain Al.
Yeah, dominating by Captain Al. Yeah. And look at the reward.
I
Deserves
mean,
it. There's another guy. I like to
fabulous.
see him win.
Fabulous.
Puts the money into the game, loves the game,
Yeah.
and go.
And bred it himself
Bred it.
out of a trippy mare, okay?
Yes.
Diva's daughter. So, well done to them. And you'll see that the thread running through the 4 Grade 1s, Captain Al and Trippy. So let's go and move on and have a look at the next Grade 1, which is a Sogo Sun, gold medallion. And this was for the 2-year-old colts. And very, very interesting what happened here. I thought the second horse was extremely unlucky, but take nothing away from the winner. Let's go and pick him up at the start.
Starter hit the lever and the dispatch from the 1200 metre marker, and Eden Rock over on the inside is quick. Also right there, Spring Break, Wave is in the pink. Cartel Captain is just off the first call. Special Blend, Frosted Gold, and there's Candy Apple. The outside is Master of Illusion, just off the pace as they move towards the 800 metre region. African Warriors about 3 lengths off them with Master J. Al Rams on the outside, then got the green light, followed by Emerald Band, but it's compact as they move to the 700 metre. Spring Break just about the leader. Wave down the inside, Loosen Your Tie. Frosted Gold just needs some running room. That's the grey between runners. African Warriors on the outside. Master of Illusion, Al-Rams, and then got the green light as they come down with 250 to go. Wave, African Warrior, Cartel Captain, Master J, Spring Break, and got the green lights coming on strongly on the outside. And Frosted Gold is now seen daylight as they come to the line. Eden Rock on the inside. Eden Rock won it. Close for second, Frosted Gold and Wave, and further back in the run, got the green light.
Well, there you go. Eden Rock, run once, won once. And Sean Terry was the start, wasn't it?
The part,
Shame, he was so disappointed when Cavivar got beaten. Beck's a big player, and, you know...
Yeah, you want to try and get them
nice to win a Group 1. He didn't know what was to come.
Yeah, none of us knew what was to come. Because it came to the second and third one, the third and fourth one, and, well, we'll wait and see, but... first of all, well done to Luke Ferraris having his first Group 1.
Yeah.
Top rider, I think.
Yeah.
Very balanced horse. Weight is his issue. He's got to watch his weight. You can see he's filling out, and he's a strong boy, but top rider, the first one. Mark de Cox also over there spoke to Anton after the race. He said the horse never travelled. First time at Maritzburg, and I know, James, it happens.
Yeah.
And he got stuck in behind them. I think he's a top horse, Frosted Gold.
Yes.
And just listening to Mark talk to Dave McLean afterwards, he said to Mark that the dam side, we're looking 14 mile. There's a Group 1 in this horse. He says.
Yeah.
I think he was a little bit stiff. He could have been in the race, or if he had drawn maybe on the outside, Anton would have kept him on the outside, clear run all the way through. Maybe he would have got going. But I mean, he moved right across those horses to get a run. And when he came out, penny drop, boom, he came with the rattle. But I think a top horse.
All right, let's take nothing away from the winner.
No, we take nothing away from the
Eden
winner.
Rock is by VAR, bred by Fontaine, out of a Captain Al mare. Okay.
Captain Al to the fore again.
So there we are. Vardy end up with a VAR. Now you've got another VAR out of a Captain Al mare. Wins the race. Lyle Hewitson rode it, and Lyle Hewitson is a very, very good rider. Very accomplished.
Very talented.
Wasn't champion apprentice in South Africa and champion jockey for nothing.
No, he's very talented.
They then moved on to the Philly Sprint, and this was a race that promised a lot because Snowdance was in the race and ended up producing a very good result. Let's go and pick them up at the start.
Ready now. They sent on their way from the 1200 metre marker. Snowdance, two off the left-hand side, began very quickly. He's an early leader. Juniper Springer's right there. Anime in the centre of the track is well placed. Temple Graffin, red sleeves and blue cap with a good position. Towards the inside, Neptune's Reign, Green Plains just off the first call. Rose in Bloom is further back in the run. Freedom Charters on the right-hand side with Nafaez. Mighty High is about 3 lengths off the leader at this stage. Over on the inside of that one, Green Plains, Exquisite Touch, San Fermin is towards the inside. As they come down with about 500 metres to go. Juniper Spring just about the leader. Snow Dancers there, Anime, Rose in Bloom. Then Temple Graffin towards the inside, Neptune's Reign, Freedom Charters towards the outside, and then comes Exquisite Touch. Vision to Kill's also trying to get into the race. Right across the track, Snow Dance and Juniper Spring, and on the outside, Celtic Sea's coming to get them all. And here's Celtic Sea exploding into action. Celtic Sea one going away. Snow Dance, Vision to Kill, and Neptune's Reign.
Well, tremendous win, this filly. She's always shown that she's got tremendous ability. She's only run one really moderate race, was in a mile. She's by Captain Al.
Another Captain Al to the fore again.
Out of a Mark of Esteem mare. Now, this shows you the importance of the big breeders having brought in these imported horses. So many pedigrees are full of imported mares. Mark of Esteem mare, Wilgerbosdrift, Maritzfontein bred it, and owned by the Becks, Gainsway. You know, here you got all these international people that are involved in our racing and make our racing, because without them we'd be dead.
Oh, absolutely. And I've got to give credit to Justin Snaith, James. 6 furlongs, he put the earmuffs on, he put the blinkers on, I think, as well.
Earmuffs, she's always, but she always
always had earmuffs, and took her to Maritzburg, let her gallop, ran out of her shoes. Well done to Justin. He put her back to her 6 furlong, but, wow, Celtic Sea was that impressive. The last 10 strides, the Lyle was easing up.
Yeah. Okay, so now Sean Won 2 out of 3 and run second in the other one.
So you really forgot about the first one. Now he was walking on
he's
air.
starting to feel a bit better. All right. So what happens from now? Well, we go and watch the Golden Horse Sprint, and the Sprint is a great race because it's a handicap in essence. So the best horse got the top weight, and they go down. They've got to give weight away. The other 3 are all weight for age or set weights. So now you get to the handicap, and let's see what happens with the Golden Horse Sprint, because this horse deserved to win it, and I've always thought that he's the best 3-year-old sprinter around. Let's go and pick him up.
There's the all clear. They sprinting from the 1200-meter marker, and Trip to Heaven is once again one of the trailers. Mardi Gras the Grey also at the back of the field early on. Bold Respect, extreme right-hand side, began quickly. In the centre of the track, pacing it with him is Sunset Eyes. That's got the red cap. Undercover Agent with a good position as well placed. Search Party, the extreme left-hand side, the white cap. Then Tribal Fusion, Van Halen. They are followed by Down to Zero. Prince Carl is just off them. They are followed by Chimichurri Run. Towards the inside of that one, Palace Chapel. Sniper Shot between horses. And then comes Attenborough, and they spread right across the track. Then Africa Rising. Absolute Stampede as they come down with 300 metres to go. Tribal Fusion, Bold Respect, Mardi Gras running on. Palace Chapel, Down to Zero. Running on from behind is Africa Rising. Africa Rising, Bold Respect, Palace Chapel, Tribal Fusion, Down to Zero. And also taking off Chimichurri Run. Chimichurri Run, Trip to Heaven. Chimichurri Run won it. Trip to Heaven's involved.
Well, Raymond Danielson's ridden a couple of Group 1 winners for Sean Terry. He's a Group 1 jockey.
No, he's a good boy. Sean says he always has a chirp about Ray. He said if he knew his ability, he would ride more. But yeah, good rider. Raymond's always been a good rider. But Sean never just won 3 features. He ran first, second, and third in the last race. And this horse came right on the outside. Beautiful. Well done to no bias on the track.
Absolutely.
Why did the early races, why did they not spread out like that?
Because you're an ex-jockey, okay?
Follow
bunch
the
of sheep.
Follow
okay?
the sheep. Yeah.
Bunch of sheep. Marcus, in the big race, decided he's drawn on the outside, he's going to stay on the outside. He stayed there.
They all stayed there. Winner came from there.
And so what happened? The others 3 or 4 around him stayed there too. Well, we'll follow Marcus. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Ended up winning the race.
Yeah, I thought
if they moved over there, none of them run a place, I'm telling you.
No,
the horse
100%.
on the inside would. You can't give away ground.
No, 100%. Even though it's a straight. Undercover Agent, James, I think he's better around the turn. That's just my personal opinion.
He ran a cracking race.
He ran a great race. But
gave weight to everything.
He's round the turn, he likes to get into front, dictate on his own, get it all under control. And Pierre, when he turns home, he just gives him that little shake up and he turns it on.
Well, he'll run in the mile here, the Rising Sun.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, I think 1 or 2 more runs in there, and he goes to stud.
Then he's going to stud.
Yeah.
Just talking about this horse's pedigree, by Trippy, out of a mare called Spice Gold. I think Stuart Pettigrew trained her. She was a very, very good mare. Drockenstein bred it, and Chris bought it. I think he's a very, very good 6 furlong horse.
Well, he's proved it. Proved it there. And another horse that won with a little bit in hand as well, I think. He came from off them. If you actually watch the race again, if you guys want to just PVR and go backwards, he's a little bit sluggish out the gates, and Ray Ray just puts him in behind.
Yeah.
Puts him to sleep and just waits. Yeah. He had 4 or 5 horses in front of him. He had Bold Respect, a horse that you'd like to follow, won the race last year. Undercover Agent, he was favourite. You want to be around those horses because they're going to pull you right through to the death, which they did do. And he got a little gap, and when he did get through there, the race was over.
Trip to Heaven, quick mention of him. He throws it away at the start every time, but he runs on best of everything, and he ran on best again.
He always runs on, and he's honest.
Lyle rides him well. I think he's the best jockey.
You got to know him now, and you accept what you've got.
Just leave him.
Don't panic. If he's going to be sluggish out, just leave him.
Okay, so it was a tremendous day. I think that I came back on the bus with all the guys.
Tell us about that, James.
The bus was.
I saw you guys getting on when I was leaving there. The acts were all festive and
great idea. Great idea. Really well worthwhile. Let's now talk about this weekend, because this weekend's a big weekend. We're coming for some big racing.
Yeah, listen, we're looking forward to this. I just love this time of the year, James.
Will Lavington, the Daily News.
This is what we're all aiming for. This is the good fillies, the good colts. We went, I don't know how the schedule was when Ippy told me ran in the Willowington before she ran in the July. And I mean, she won by, it's the first time she ever drew well, and she won by about 5 lengths. I never moved on her. I got a mouthful from the boss in the winner's box. He said, Kevin, I wanted to see this filly work today so we can just idle her into the July. He says, I'm now going to gallop her again. You know that, eh? So I got an ear for, I thought I was doing well. I was giving it a pat at the 100-meter mark. And he wanted to see her stretch a little bit. And
what was that, 2002?
2002, yeah.
Yeah. I know, because I just had my operation. I was sitting on the stand, and Mike said to me, I used to sit in the stand there and watch my horses work, and he said to me, I won the July with this horse. It was in April. I'd just come from Zimbabwe. Bloody hairy thing.
Yeah, you thought, and she was this big.
I said, are you out of your skull? He said, I'm telling you, I won the July with this. I wish I'd listened to him. I should have backed him.
Yeah, 60-61 to 61. What a great memories. But yeah, we've got all these big races on Saturday. James, I'm so looking forward to it. And the weather, I mean, look at the weather we had in Maritzburg. Beautiful. I mean, this morning we just look, if we get a day like this, the crowds will be on. The crowds were back at Maritzburg. How lovely was that?
Fabulous.
I was watching it live from the stands, and everybody's there, the buzz around. Beautiful, man. I just get so excited to see Durban.
Well, we got the Derby coming.
Yeah. We've got all these races coming up.
All the big racing, wonderful racing coming.
Wonderful racing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and all the best with Shazzy craft beer.
I don't drink a lot of it, James, because it's normally going into the places. But yeah, it's nice to see Rob. He's a great guy. He's never scared to work. Unfortunately, 65 came up too quickly, and with Gold Circle, when you're 65, we saw it with Colin Buckham, we saw it with Warren Isley, we saw it with most of the guys. 65 is your retirement age, and you've got to move on. So, and he had to go on, and he was very good at his job. He was a great clerk of scales. He was very good at being a judge as well. He got taught by the best, Colin Buckham. So, Rob, great guy. I see a lot of Rob, and we wish him well, and a great guy. He's an absolute great guy.
Okay, well, until next week, we wish you a wonderful week's racing, and don't miss all of the action, and we'll be back next week.